Welcome. I'm Warren Odess-Gillette, and this is A Baha'i Perspective. Welcome to A Baha'i Perspective. I recorded an interview with Sheyda Do'a on November 9th, 2021. Sheyda is a pianist, singer-songwriter, guitarist, and mathematician. She draws on her multicultural heritage and her upbringing in Albania to blend traditions and sounds into music for the soul, one that inspires across cultures and generations. Her first CD is called In Awe, released in 2015. She's currently working on a new release. The songs we listened to in the interview are new compositions. I started the interview by asking Sheyda where she grew up and what was religious life like growing up.
So I grew up in a small country in Eastern Europe called Albania. My parents actually moved to Albania in 1991. They grew up in Germany and Italy with origins from Iran, and they moved to Albania to help establish the Baha'i faith in that country. As my life started in Albania, it started with the same purpose that my parents had moved to Albania for. And that really shaped the way not only that I looked at the world, but also the way that I and my family lived our lives. Our lives were very service-oriented, very much founded in the belief that humanity is one, in the belief that no matter what race, what religion we come from, we are all created from the same God. So yes, growing up in Albania in that kind of environment was something that I very much cherish, and I'm very, very grateful to my parents to have made that decision in order for my brother and I also to be part of that service, really, to humankind.
So how did your family become Baha'i?
So my parents actually both were born into Baha'i families, but in the Baha'i faith, when you're 15, you're considered spiritually mature. And so they both decided to continue living a Baha'i life, let's say, and believing in Baha'u'llah, who's the founder of the Baha'i faith.
Very good. So you're like third generation.
Yeah, you could say that.
So I noticed your last name is Do'a, which reminds me of a world-renowned instrumental duo called Do'a back in the 70s. Is that your family name?
No, actually, Do'a is my middle name, and it's Farsi, and it means prayer in Farsi.
Uh-huh.
So it is my middle name, but I now go by Sheyda Do'a actually as my stage name.
So when did you discover that music was going to be an important part of your life?
That's a hard question, actually, because my mother is a classical pianist. So I grew up with music. I feel like the first breath I took, I was already exposed to music. My mother would sing to me to sleep all the time. We would wake up in the morning to classical music playing on the tape back then. I do not remember a single moment of my conscious life where I was not attracted to music. So I cannot really pinpoint the moment where it happened. I feel like I've always been really, really attracted to music.
And when did you start performing?
So I started performing at the age of 3 or 4, I think. My mother says that we were at this big Baha'i conference actually with 200 people or something in the audience, and I just stood up there on stage and sang this little song in Spanish.
What we're going to do in this interview is we're going to feature your musical compositions. And I guess my first question before we get into the first one is, do you have any CDs that you've produced?
Yes. So the first CD that I produced is called In Awe. You can find it on Spotify and on iTunes and all the other platforms. Actually, the reason I recorded this album was because I was trying to help raise money for the construction of the Baha'i temple in Chile, which was the Baha'i temple, the latest continental, let's say, Baha'i temple that was constructed in 2016. So I basically compiled a list of Baha'i writings that I had put to music. And again, it's called In Awe. I will talk a little bit more about it later probably, but I am in the process of releasing a second album, hopefully in 2022.
So are the songs that we're going to feature from your first CD, or some of them going to be in from others?
Actually, the songs featured today are newer compositions that I have composed in the last year or two. And the album in all I released in 2016. So you will see that even the type of music I play recently is a little bit different to back in 2016. But I guess musicians change all the time, their music changes too.
All right, so the first piece we're going to feature is Lampara. So what does Lampara mean, and what inspired you to write this piece?
Lampara means lamp or light in Spanish. I have recently been listening to a lot of Latin music, actually. Leonor, who is actually a Baha'i musician from Colombia, has really inspired my music recently. I was really inspired by this concept that each one of us, I think, has this light within us. We have this light, we have this energy within us that I think is our responsibility to share with the rest of the world. I think we have the choice, right? We have the choice of sharing it with the rest of the world or keeping it for ourselves. I wrote this melody to this quote to kind of try or hope to inspire my audience to be moved into action and to really share this light that they all have within them with the rest of the world.
And where is the quote from?
So the quote is from the Baha'i writings. It is from a selection, let's say, of Baha'i writings called the Hidden Words, which were all revealed by Baha'u'llah, who is the founder of the Baha'i faith. I can say the quote in English if you want, just to give a bit of context, but basically it says, "Thou art my lamp, and my light is in thee. Get thou from it thy radiance, and seek none other than me." So that's where my inspiration for the melody of the song also came from.
Tú eres mi lámpara y mi luz está en ti. Tú eres mi lámpara y mi luz está en ti. Obtén de ella tu resplandor y no busques. Obtén de ella tu resplandor y no busques. Oh, tú eres mi lámpara y mi luz está en ti. Tú eres mi lámpara y mi luz está en ti. Obtén de ella tu resplandor y no busques, no busques. Oh, obtén de ella tu resplandor y no busques a nadie sino a mí, nadie sino a mí, a nadie sino a mí, nadie sino a mí, a nadie. Pues he creado rico y he derramado generosamente mi favor sobre ti, sobre ti, sobre ti. Oh, Tú eres mi lámpara y mi luz está en ti. Tú eres mi lámpara y mi luz está en ti. Tú eres mi lámpara y mi luz está en ti. Tú eres mi lámpara.
I'm speaking with Sheyda Do'a, a pianist, singer, guitarist, and mathematician. She draws on her multicultural heritage and her upbringing in Albania to blend traditions and sounds into music for the soul, one that inspires across cultures and generations. Now, what we didn't really talk about was the mathematician in you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm actually currently pursuing my PhD in mathematics. I'm in my 4th year and I'm doing research full time right now. I absolutely love mathematics and music. They're my two passions, and I'm so, so grateful to be able to do both of them simultaneously at the moment.
And music and mathematics are quite related.
Yes, I think so. I definitely think so. The thing that really attracts me to both these fields, let's say, is this innate beauty that I feel and find within them. I know that there are a lot of people who are interested in both these fields. Even Einstein apparently used to play the violin in his basement with some other scientists.
I'm not going to try to pronounce the second piece we're going to feature, so why don't you pronounce the title for me?
So yeah, recently I've been writing a lot of music in Spanish. I don't know why, but I've been inspired to do so. So this next one is called Non te ocupes. It is also actually a hidden word, like the one that I mentioned before, Lampara. And this one, basically what it says is that we shouldn't focus our attentions and our thoughts and our worries on things of this world because they will pass. Whether we have a lot of money at some point in our lives or not at a different stage of our life, we shouldn't really attach ourselves to these material things because I personally believe that there is a bigger scope and a bigger purpose to our lives than just this material world, you know? And so for me, this quote has been really inspiring because it kind of is like a compass that guides me and reminds me of what our true purpose in life is and how we can really focus on that.
No te ocupes de este mundo, pues con fuego probamos el oro y con oro probamos. No te ocupes de este mundo, pues con fuego probamos el oro y con oro probamos a nuestros siervos, nuestros siervos, nuestros siervos. No te ocupes de este mundo, pues con fuego probamos el oro y con oro probamos. No te ocupes de este mundo, pues con fuego probamos el oro y con oro probamos a nuestros siervos, nuestros siervos, nuestros siervos.
I'm speaking with Sheyda Do'a, who's a pianist, singer, guitarist, and mathematician, and we had just heard one of her pieces that she produced and played and performed. The next composition, Sheyda, is called Refresh and Gladden, which this is a Baha'i prayer, is it not?
Yes, this is a prayer that I say often when I'm going through a hard time or having a hard day, or maybe I'm a little bit sad for whatever reason, because it is really a prayer and a supplication in my mind to God to refresh and gladden my spirit, to really help me forget about the anxieties and the negativities of this world and really focus on the beautiful things that exist on this planet and the wonderful people that we meet and the wonderful acts of service that we can give to each other. It is really a prayer that inspires me and makes me happy.
Refresh and gladden my spirit. Purify, purify my heart. Refresh and gladden my spirit. Purify, purify my heart. Illumine my powers. I lay all my affairs in thy hand. Thou art my guide and my refuge. I will no longer be sorrowful and grieved. I will be a happy and joyful being. Refresh and gladden my spirit. Purify, purify my heart. Refresh and gladden my spirit. Purify, purify my heart. Refresh and gladden my spirit. Purify, purify my heart. Refresh and gladden my spirit. Purify, purify my heart. I will no longer be full of anxiety. Nor will I let trouble harass me. I will not dwell on the unpleasant things of life, oh God, oh God. Refresh and gladden my spirit. Purify, purify my heart. Refresh and gladden my spirit. Purify, purify my heart. Refresh and gladden my spirit. Purify, purify my heart. Refresh and gladden my spirit. Purify, purify my heart.
We're speaking with Sheyda Do'a, a pianist, singer, guitarist, and mathematician, and we had just heard the piece Refresh and Gladden. And the next piece is called Rejoice, Sheyda. So tell us about this one.
Yes, so as the title says, it again is another song or another hidden word again from the Baha'i writings that talks about joy. There might be a common theme here. The concept is very similar. The reason why I chose to put that quote to music is very similar too, because I really wanted to put to music a piece that uplifts people. And this is a piece that can actually be sung in a round. I really wrote it because I wanted people to be able to sing it in big groups and big gatherings and big meetings where it is a song that you can all sing together, and it really brings, hopefully, an energy to the crowd and, yeah, inspires people and makes them happy again, like the one before.
O Son of Man, rejoice in the gladness of thy heart. O Son of Man, rejoice in the gladness of thy heart. O Son of Man, rejoice in the gladness of thy heart. O Son of Man, rejoice in the gladness of thy heart, that thou mayest be worthy to meet me, that thou mayest be worthy to meet me, and to mirror forth my beauty, and to mirror forth my beauty, and to mirror forth my beauty. man, rejoice in the gladness of thine heart.
I'm speaking with Sheyda Do'a, a pianist, singer, guitarist, and mathematician, and we had just listened to her composition, musical piece, Rejoice. The next one, I guess this is the last one we'll feature, is called Unidod. So tell us about this one.
So I think that more than ever, the world really needs unity. It really needs people to come together, to let go of their differences and to really just strongly bond together and fight the negative forces of this world as a whole. This song is a prayer about unity. It's a prayer that we as Baha'i say to ask God to unite us, to create unity in the world between our friends, between our neighbors, between whoever we have in our lives. So this is a prayer for unity.
You sing it in Spanish?
Yes.
Can you recite it in English so folks can get an understanding of the meaning?
Yes. So in English, the prayer is, O God, O my God, unite the hearts of thy servants and reveal to them thy great purpose. May they follow thy commandments and abide in thy law. Help them, O God, in their endeavors and grant them strength to serve thee. O God, leave them not to themselves, but guide their steps through the light of thy knowledge and cheer their hearts through thy love. Verily, thou art their helper and their Lord.
Oh mi Dios, une los corazones de tus siervos, y revélale tu gran propósito. Oh mi Dios, une los corazones de tus siervos, y revélale tu gran propósito. Que sigan tus mandamientos y se atengan a tu ley. Ayúdale, oh Dios, en sus esfuerzos y confiérele fuerza para servirte. Oh Dios, no los abandones a sí mismos, sino guía su paso con la luz de tu conocimiento y anima su corazón con tu amor. Verdaderamente tú eres su ayuda y su Señor.
I'm speaking with Sheyda Do'a, a pianist, singer, guitarist, mathematician, and we just listened to her musical piece called Unidod, which is a Baha'i prayer about unity. Sheyda, where can people find your music?
So, as I mentioned, my album In Awe is on Spotify. You can also find a few of my recent concerts on my YouTube channel, Sheyda Do'a, on my Instagram page, Sheyda_Do'a, on my Facebook page. So I'm everywhere.
I think you had mentioned that you're working on a project. So why don't you tell us what that is?
Yes, I'm actually really excited about this project. It has been in the making for a few months now. It will be released next summer. I am actually signing with a music label to release this project, but I haven't signed yet, so I probably shouldn't mention the name yet. But keep tuned. This will be a compilation of a few Baha'i writings, again, that I have put to music, and a few covers, including a jazz standard, a samba, bossa nova type tune, and an Albanian folk song. I am collaborating with wonderful, wonderful musicians from all around the world, really. I have a jazz band from Cuba, Harold Lopez Nusa, who is the pianist. And I have an Israeli pianist who lives in New York called Shai Maestro, which probably many of you know, and an Uruguayan pianist called Nando Michelin. And I also have Shango Deli, who used to be the percussionist for Carlo Vives, who is a famous singer in Colombia. But he's actually also the son of Leonor Deli, who I mentioned earlier, the Baha'i musician. So I have a few wonderful musicians who are actually joining me on this next album. And I'm really excited because it is a completely different vibe than the one before, and hopefully a fresh breeze of air.
Are you performing these days?
Yes, so I just finished my year as an artist in resident at the Strathmore Arts Center in Maryland. As part of that program, I was able to perform in different venues in Washington, D.C., and also to collaborate with wonderful musicians and really start my own little band. So I've been performing in DC, but also in other places.
And is there any way people local to your area can find where you might be playing?
Yes, so I usually post my upcoming events and performances on my Instagram page and on my Facebook page, but you can also find more information about me on my website, www.sheydado'a.com.
Well, Sheyda, I want to thank you so much for sharing your music with us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
I hope you enjoyed that interview with Sheyda Do'a, pianist, singer-songwriter, guitarist, and mathematician. Her website is sheydado'a.com. We'll finish the hour out with more of Sheyda's music. You can find this interview and other interviews on the website abahaiperspective.com and on the YouTube channel, A Baha'i Perspective. You can also find the podcast on Spotify and iTunes. For information specifically on the Baha'i Faith, you can go to the website baha'i.org, or you can call the number 1-800-22-UNITE. I hope you join me next time on A Baha'i Perspective.
Good evening, and welcome to the second concert in Strathmore's 2021 Artist in Residence series. My name is Betty Scott. I'm the director of the program, and I'm happy to welcome you to tonight's artist, Sheyda Do'a. Sheyda has pre-recorded tonight's concert because due to the pandemic, she is in Albania visiting her parents and unable to be with us. She, however, had a great plan B and got in touch with a childhood friend who had a TV connection. She went into the TV studio and recorded tonight's concert for us. She even had her own makeup artist, so it wasn't very bad for a plan B. I want to thank her sponsors, Dick and Melba Reichert, Kathy Bernard, and the Bernard Family Foundation. And now, Sheyda Do'a in Albania.
Ya no estás más a mi lado, corazón. En el alma solo tengo soledad. Y si ya no puedo verte, porque Dios me hizo quererte para hacerme sufrir más. Siempre fuiste la razón de mi existir. Adorarte para mí fue religión. En tus besos yo encontraba el calor que me brindaba, el amor y la pasión. Es la historia de un amor que no hay otro igual, que me hizo comprender todo bien, todo mal, que me dio luz a mi vida, apagándola después. Ay, qué vida tan oscura, sin amor no viviré. Ya no estás más a mi lado, corazón. En el alma solo tengo soledad. Y sé ya no puedo verte, porque Dios me hizo quererte para hacerme sufrir más. Estoy tan enamorada de lo negro Tomaso, que cuando se va de casa, qué triste me pongo. Estoy tan enamorada de la negra Tomaso, que cuando le va de casa, qué triste me pongo. Kikiribum, mandinga, kikiribum, kiribum, mandinga. Kikiribum, mandinga, kikiribum, kiribum, mandinga. Es la historia de un amor que no hay otro igual, que me hizo comprender todo bien, todo mal, que me dio sus a mi vida, apagándola después. Ay, qué vida tan oscura, sin amor no viviré. Ya no estás más a mi lado, corazón. En el alma solo tengo soledad. Y sé ya no puedo verte, porque Dios me hizo quererte para hacerme sufrir un poquito más. Hi, everyone. I'm Sheyda Do'a, and I'm very excited to be sharing this evening with you today. One of the things that I think I would like to share with you is to take you all on a journey. I would love to take you on a journey of search for truth, of some inner peace, and some powerful emotions that I hope we will all share tonight. You know, I personally think that there's only one truth. No matter the way we get there, no matter how our search looks like, I think the truth that we're all looking for in this world is the same. And I would love for us to think about it as us walking together on a path today. On this path towards finding our truth, which could be very individual, I think there are a few important tools that all of us agree on. One of them is definitely love. And the song that I just sang is a love song. The song I just sang is a bit of a painful love song, mashed up with a little bit of a happier love song. Now I would like to continue with a song that is also a song about love, but it is a different kind of love. This song talks about the love of one's own country. I grew up in Albania, and so I'll be singing about Albania. Hajta kalova zgjidha labrina, as ku nuk gjeta si mam Shqiprina. Dy manu shaqe në dorën time, ja fala njerëz arbresës time. Dy manu shaqe në dorën time, ja fala njerëz arbresës time. Elulelu, 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 matza matza. Sendalupak, endalupak, endalupak të sonjëherë. Se zemraim, se zemraim, se zemraim e jeti vetë. E unë për ty, e unë për ty, e unë për ty, o djalu plaka. So this song talks about the love that the songwriter has about his own country, Albania. Now, I think there are a lot of different kinds of love. As I mentioned, one of the types of love, I think, is the love we can have for another person. Another type of love is the love we can have for our country. I think one love that for me personally is also important is to remember that somebody, something created us out of love. And so this is one of my own compositions, and so I've put to music this quote that talks exactly about that. Unë doja krijimin tënd, pra të krijova ty. Unë doja krijimin tënd, pra të krijova ty. Prandaj të më tuash mua, që unë të përmend emrin tënd, dhe ta mbush shpirtin tënd me frymën e jetës. Me frymën e jetës. Unë doja krijimin tënd, pra të krijova ty. Unë doja krijimin tënd, pra të krijova ty. Prandaj të më tuash mua, që unë të përmend emrin tënd, dhe ta mbush shpirtin tënd me frymën e jetës. mefrimaneyetes, mefrimaneyetes, mefrimaneyetes. I will continue on the topic of love for a while. I think a lot of songs out there definitely talk about this subject. The next song is a song about an Argentinian poet whose name was Alfonsina. And the song, I heard it first from Mercedes Sosa, who's an incredible singer, and the song touched me immediately. This is one of my favorite songs, definitely of all times. And I would love to share it with you tonight. So please, please enjoy this next one, which is called Alfonsina. Por la blanda arena que lame el mar, su pequeña huella no vuelve más. Un sendero solo de pena, silencio llegó hasta el agua profunda. Un sendero solo de pena, muda llegó hasta la espuma. Sabe Dios que angustia te acompañó, que dolores viejos cayó tu voz para recostarte arrullado en el canto de la caracolas marinas, la canción que canta en el mundo oscuro del mar, la caracola. Te vas, Alfonsina, con tu soledad, que poemas nuevos fuiste a buscar, una voz antigua de viento de sal, te requiebre la alma y está llevando y te vas hacia allá como sueño dormida, Alfonsina, vestida de mar. Cinco sirenitas te llevarán por camino de algas y de coral, y fosforescentes caballos marinos harán una ronda a tu lado, y los habitantes del agua van a jugar pronto a tu lado. que duerma nodriza en paz. Ni se llama él, no le digas que estoy, dile que Alfonsina no vuelve. Y se llama él, no le digas nunca que estoy, di que me he ido. Te vas, Alfonsina, con tu soledad. ¿Qué poemas nuevos fuiste a buscar? Una voz antigua de viento de sal te requiebra el alma y está llevando, y te vas hacia allá como sueño dormida, Alfonsina, vestida de mar. This song was about love, but it was a bit of a sad kind of love. Alfonsina committed suicide, and this is a song that talks about one of the versions of the story where she was walking into the ocean. And so the song is about her and the ocean. Now I would like to continue with another Albanian song, which is also a love song, which is also a bit of a sad love song, actually. It talks about this boy who is looking for this girl that he loves. And so I would love to think about this concept of search. That's what I think about when I think of this song. Because thinking about the path that I mentioned earlier, I think love is definitely one of the tools on this path. But I think also we are searching for something, right? I think we live this life always in search for something, always in search to become better people. And so this next song I think about also as just a song for us to search for this love, for this loved one. Rrugës I tristuar, digus po ecën, një I dasuruar, dhe fare vetëm, dasurin që humbi, duke kërkuar, si erdhi fundi, iku dela. Vajzën që donte, sa donte veten e brakti si sonte, dhe la vetëm ëndrën që përkundi, sa shpejti shua si erdhi fundi, iku dela. Ndoshta ri humbur aty në pyje dhe ri ngritur aty në hyje dhe për gjon atje vajzën që do. Ndoshta ri hyje aty në hyje dhe ri ngisur aty në pyje dhe për gjon atje vajzën që do. Aty në pyje Jonathan Weisen Chedo. So I'm just thinking about what the next one is. I now would like to talk a little bit about one more concept on this path. This idea of attraction to beauty is something that personally I really, really resonate with. So I'm thinking we're all walking on this path together, and there are a lot of different things we see around us. And they might all be considered beautiful by different people. I think that everything has its own kind of beauty, but I think that as a society, we oftentimes think about beauty as a specific thing, like a beautiful woman or a beautiful painting or a beautiful piece of music. But I personally, for example, also think that a proof is beautiful. Yes, I am biased. I am also a PhD student in mathematics, actually, at the University of Maryland. And so I definitely do think that mathematics is beautiful. I think all of us have something that we think is beautiful in its own way. And there is this beauty that attracts us to things. So I would love to spend the next few songs singing about this concept of beauty. I will now continue with a song in Albanian again, which talks about beauty of nature and beauty of our homeland. So please enjoy. Mëngjese e majit kur këndon bilbili I fushës kur fryn e roza e malit edhe qielli është I skuqur dua lulet e fushës në mëngjes kur jam plot me vesa do të skatem bardha të cupës vete me vrap që ti prekë por nga gjitha ato më para dua mësuma Shqipërinë që të vej puna mbarë edhe për jetën të ketë lirë